My name is Josh King. I am the Assistant City Planner for Gallatin, Tennessee. I work with a very talented team of 8 other individuals, and we work with the residents of the City of Gallatin to understand federal rules and regulations, and also work with the community to figure out what kind of city we want to be in the future. So if you're watching this video and you're in middle school or high school, we are trying to understand what kind of city you want this to be, and is this the kind of city you want to come back and raise your family in. We do most of our work inside, but we do go to the field to understand conditions of what an area looks like when we're working with people, when we're working with other neighborhood groups or community organizations to understand what they do and how they fit in with the city's overall mission. We work together very closely with our elected officials. We work together with, we have several appointed boards that are interested members of the community. We work with nonprofit partners like the Chamber or the Gallatin Arts Council on how we can work together to create a better community. It's actually pretty extensive. So to get into the field that I'm in, you can have as little as a bachelor's degree in urban planning. Most of us have at least a master's degree, and then there's a basic certification called from the American Institute of Certified Planners, AICP, which is sort of the basic entry-level one. You can go on to get advanced certificates, and you can also leverage this into a career with city management, which is a whole different aspect of what we do. A lot of times we get frustrated because the intersection of politics and what people want aren't always the same. So we have to learn to strike a balance between all of the competing interests and how a city looks and how it should develop. One of the more rewarding parts of my job is seeing when a community can come together to take care of an important issue that needs to be addressed, especially in times where it's really needed to make something good happen. When I was pursuing my undergraduate degree, I took an interesting history class that was about the history of the city. And that led me to discover that there was a whole field I didn't know about called urban planning. And so it was a lot about how cities function, how cities form, how they look, and how people interact with them. And I fell in love. This is a really interesting field, and it has so many different parts and places that you can get into and learn more about, depending on what your interest is. Mine, I specifically got into more of the management side because I really love leading our team of professionals and making sure that they have the resources they need to work with our community partners to ensure that the city is developing with all of the bells and the whistles. We use a lot of different software programs, one of which is CAD. CAD is always going to be important in what we do. Another one is called ArcGIS or GIS, which is a mapping platform, and that really helps us understand the relationship between the natural environment and what's being proposed. We can also use it to communicate with our elected officials different ideas and scenarios. City planning is a very interesting and dynamic field that's continuing to evolve. So if this is something that interests you, reach out to our planning department.